sit and watch it burn. I once said, I once said, now I spit on the flame.
Hello, chat. You just the volume here. This is one of my favorite tracks from one of my favorite playlists called Vapor Springs Mall. You can find it on YouTube. Gotta find a volume that fits good for this. This will probably work. Ooh. Oopa. I don't want to do that. Okay. Let's get started. I've got some TikToks that I've saved and others that I'm going to go over. One second. Let me just do this and then pause the music. I should go live on Kick. I went live there before, but I gotta make a different channel. What the heck? Did I not save any? What's going on here? One second. Did I not save any videos? What do you mean log in? I am logged in. Oh my god. Oh god, bro. 1 second, guys. Music back on. Second here, just trying to get this through. Enjoy the music. I don't need to be all pissy about it. I'm working. Also, everyone on my Twitter, follow my pages, because I only go live rarely. I gotta make a separate I should make a separate Twitter for my other channels, honestly. It's good to keep stuff filed out, because I make different content for different channels. I don't want to just splooge it all into the same place, you know? Will you fucking work? one of those instruments I plan to learn in the future. All right. Everyone on my Twitter. I'm gonna make a separate Twitter for this, but just follow my other page if you're interested in politics, called Khan the Immortal. Once I make a separate Twitter, I'll just go live on there. Hopefully they let me. I don't have to pay for that shit too, but yada yada. Anywho, ciao. You can find the page on the name on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble, I think, but mostly YouTube and Twitch. Alright, bye everyone on Twitter. Alright, everyone else, let's continue. Can I open this link in a different page? Or I bet it's
men besides
I bet it's TikTok fucking up on my shit. There's fucking TikTok. Those Chinamen. Those Chinamen at TikTok, dude. They're in my computer, dude. I just know it, dude. They're just watching me through the camera. Anywho, let's continue. We're gonna talk about relationships this stream, and men and women, and men being women, and women being men, and vice versa. But yeah, let's continue.
every other fucking reason is the fact that like the reason I don't trust men besides every other fucking reason is the fact that like around 2 years ago, this femme queen that I know from like the Berlin scene got into a relationship with a guy, or at least she was like telling me that like she is starting to see this guy, right? And I remember like I was like so happy for her. I was like, oh my God, whatever. And then a couple of weeks later, I was like scrolling on a dating app at the time, and I was like looking at him on the dating app, and he had sent me like a message request, because on this particular dating app, you could like, you don't just like people, you can like them and leave them a comment, and if like they see the comment, let's say I saw the comment,
Why is this shit in the middle? What the hell?
I would see this guy's likes first, right? And it was like, hey, I like your vibe, I'd love to meet. Now mind you, I know my good sis is seeing this guy. Like, she's telling me they're like becoming exclusive, and I'm like, exclusive on what, sister? So anyway, I like
We're gonna listen to the whole story, and then I'll say my commentary after. I don't want to keep interrupting.
screenshot it and I sent it to her, and I'm like, hey girl, such and such person is on the dating app and they're writing me, and I thought you should know. She sees it and doesn't reply to me for like a day and a half. And then literally the next day she like replies back to me, well, a day and a half later, replies back to me and says, oh, that was like a long story. So basically, like, the guy's name, I'm not gonna say his name, is like it's like an old profile of his, and he must have liked it a long time ago. Mind you, I got the notification on the day of the screenshot.
No.
It wasn't like I got it a week prior and I didn't open the app for a week. Bitch, I was like consecutively checking the fucking app. So anyway, I was like, okay, girl, like, you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. So then I remember seeing them a couple of weeks later at this like event, like ballroom event, whatever. And it was just so awkward because like he was looking at me as if like guilty, you know what I mean? Anyway, fast forward to now, they're still, I thought, dating. And the reason I'm saying I thought is because, well, I thought they were dating. But then a couple of weeks back, I saw him on the same app, and I saw that he had liked me again. And mind you, this is 2 years. 2 years I have not seen this girl. I haven't really spoken to her. Last time I checked, they were together. He was there for her like boob surgery. He was there for her pussy surgery. So he's been through all of it with her.
Getting surgery is such a skin crawling concept to me. You know what I mean? Not just getting surgery, but getting surgery for like the purpose of some kind of affirmation. It feels like you're putting on false skin. It feels like you're oh no. If it feels like you're like a clay figure and you try to mold yourself. No, no. Except clay figures are actually moldable. Think of a clay figure that's solidified under the sun, under heat and time. And after that process, they try to take this off and then chop this off and then put this on. Like, what do you mean you're making a vagina? What does it mean to? I didn't know vaginas could be. I didn't know you could make a vagina. Last thought. Last time I. Last thing. I'm sorry. I guess I'm hot. I'm high as hell, but not high enough. I need to get some dabs. Last time I knew. Last time I remembered. I thought you were born with one. I didn't know you could make a vagina. What does that even mean? Getting your like that's so Victorian. That's something you'd see a guy in like a long white trench coat, like some rusty scissors working on. Like, well, that's so like the fact that we still think you could just chop off your cock and all of a sudden you have that makes a vagina. Like that's so funny. That's so funny to me that people think that and others go along with it. Ooh, hilarious.
And I thought they were together. Again, I didn't like it. And mind you, now, just today, I'm watching a ballroom video from like an event that like happened here in the community. And guess who's in the motherfucking background of the motherfucking video? Them two. Like a cutesy little couple. I thought that like she's leaving the city, so like they broke up and like he's single and she's single. Clearly not. Or clearly they are together and she just doesn't know that he's a skank. But this is why I have trust issues, because of men like that and because of men like my ex. You just cannot trust men. Because the minute you think you can, you can't.
Um, my commentary on that is that it's very funny. Let's go to the comments here a little bit. Wait, let me make sure that works. Hopefully my title I just updated to isn't too long because YouTube has like 100 character limit. Oh no, it's not. Okay, cool. Um, this comment I saw, men are so embarrassing. Like I know the person who's commenting this is a trans. Like, what do you mean by that? Men are so like how do you get to say that? Oh, just because you switch sides doesn't mean you get to start talking shit about the like. How does that make sense? Like you're like you go over to the other side and you're like, man, am I right, ladies? Like okay, like oh. Also the dynamic that this video is I think misunderstanding is that oh, one second. It's really late. But the dynamic that the video's misunderstanding is that men like I saw it said once by Patrice O'Neill somewhere on like a radio show, but like what's wrong with getting some side pussy? Like really, what's wrong with it? Like just because I want, someone else for a little bit for a while. or maybe longer than that, doesn't make me a bad person. Like, I don't get what's wrong with, yeah, I've got this chick I really dig, but there's this other, there's like, getting like, getting side pussy is a natural thing. It doesn't make me a bad person. You know what I mean? The love that men are capable of is different from women's. And no, you can't get some side dick. That's not the same thing. It just makes me a cuck. What's the point of me getting side pussy and you getting side dudes? Why even be a relationship at that point? It's it's a level of sacrifice that men who transition into women just don't understand. Just can't get the concept of. And it's very funny to observe. Because women will complain about it, but then they'll just go along because they have that natural gene of, if we're just being honest, being delusional. That's why I put that in the title. What makes her delulu is what makes her strong. Because that's true. It's true. Women have the capacity to be the capacity to be like so unbelievably delusional about the situation. Like naturally so. It's almost a sixth sense that like men who transition into women and vice versa just don't understand it. Because women who transition to men also, like, I feel like they don't have a sense. They don't they don't have that natural sixth sense to just be delusional like natural women can. So they transition to men thinking it'll be better, which is, it's not. Being a guy isn't that. Like, being a guy is this whole other can of worms. But yeah, man, like, we're gonna watch a bunch of these videos because I find them all interesting, and just talk about relationships until I'm bored, pretty much. Just loose commentary, you know. I have some I have some of them saved. I'm sure I do. Let's see. Way smarter than a fifth grader. Grab a pencil and a piece of paper.
Men
T to G J going back to school. But are you smarter than you used to be?
men don't date trans women socially because it doesn't give them social currency. I have thought about this a lot. I always try to find the best and easiest way to say this. But if men could benefit, like in capitalism, if they could benefit from dating trans women
This is
socially,
this is next level mind gymnastics. There is something that like trans women do beat. I'm not even sure. It's to be a tough competition. The mind gymnastics aspect. Trans women versus natural born women. Who's more delusional? Who's who's more delulu? Who's got the best mind gymnastics out there? Because that's tough competition, ladies. A pun intended. That's tough competition. Who's more delusional? Who's got the better mind gymnastics? If you have to give a score out of 1 to 10, after they did a triple quarter, backflip or whatever, who would land perfectly on their feet? Because this is next level delusion. Oh, men aren't with us because social current. Like, what is that? What is that? What's social currency got to do with anything? It's about social currency. The thing you're talking about only applies to how hot you are as a natural born woman. There's no such thing as social currency when you're fucking a dude. Do you get it? You're just fucking a dude. Like this, guys. Like that's. It's not that you're like, you don't look enough like a woman. It's that you used to be a man. It's that those guys, whoever he's around, can pull up a pic of you as like a boy or whatever, but like, dude, you're fucking a dude. Like, there's no social currency. Like, it's not complicated. It's never been complicated. It's not that you're not woman enough. It's that you used to be a man. That's that's period. I don't think there is such thing as becoming a woman. It's more of a thing that fate decides for you, like everything else in fucking life. Okay, fate flips a coin, and that's it. Yeah, you might feel uncomfortable in your own skin, but that's all pathological. It doesn't change when you start applying drugs and hormones to your body. You're just a pathological person who's now on drugs and hormones. That's it. It's like, and it's very funny to observe. I'm not gonna lie. I should take some shrooms, dude. I've got a bag here. I've been just sitting on, but my stomach's all fucked up from like. Wish I undercooked some bacon earlier. Anyways, let's continue.
Men don't date trans women socially because it doesn't give them social currency.
Right.
I have thought about this a lot.
You need to think
I
about
always
it
try
some
to
more.
find the best.
You need to think about it some more, actually.
Men don't date trans women socially because it doesn't give them social currency. I have thought about this a lot. I always try to find the best and easiest way to say this. But if men could benefit, like in capitalism, if they could benefit from dating trans women socially, a lot more men would do that openly.
Yeah, they'd have to get the barrier of being called a fag first. They'd have to get the past the fag barrier of guys like, I don't normal men aren't delusional. So like, to try to like Jedi mind trick your way into like, oh, it's actually a woman. Actually, no, like that's so funny. It's so funny to be this delusional. It's so funny to be this like this thinking is kind of thinking is so interesting. Like, huh? Ah, guys, I need my own. I need to make these streams in my own fireplace. I wish I had some hot cocoa right now, like a fireplace in front of me. I need to do that, guys. I need to get rich for these streams and fucking put some hot cocoa on my fireplace or whatever. Drink some hot cocoa. I make all these with my feet up. My feet's already up, but there's no fire in front of it, so it's not the same.
I believe this with my whole heart. They see us and they see trans women as the way to connect to themselves the best behind closed doors, where they can have a therapy session, they can have love, they can have someone, see them for who they are, they can embrace all of the nuance that
All that's fag shit. Guys don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, all that shit's faggot shit that you came up with. That you think guys give a fuck about. Like, what are you talking about? Like, huh? Oh, see us for who we are. Okay. I don't know. That's just very funny to me. Huh? See us
they
for
have
who.
love, they can have someone, see them for who they are, they can embrace all of the nuance that comes with, your identity and yourself when you're dating a trans woman. But if they were getting jobs and getting money and getting status from dating trans women, they would do it openly. I fully believe this. Like, we think about basketball wives, we think about all of these sports guys with their women on their their arms and stuff, and they benefit from that because it's currency. It gives them this like upper hand.
Yeah, that's because they're women. You notice how there's no trannies in those basketball? It's because they're women. It gives them currency because they're beautiful women. You'd have to get a whole separate show. Like, fucking. I know a couple. I know a couple. You'd have to get on, like, the Zeus network or some shit to find some trannies.
And at being like, look, I'm the man and this is what I do and this is how I run it, right? And so much of love in our society and Western civilization is capitalism. It's literally basically, how can we sell this idea that you are doing great in your life because you are with this person? There's such a performance that comes with heteronormativity, like people being married and having relationships and doing the whole fanfare, right? It's just as performative as a Broadway play, if you ask me. And when you get down to the real nitty gritty of people's feelings about what they like, who they're with, when they're with that person, most men that have dated a trans woman in secret can tell you that that woman changed his life. That woman saw him for who he was. That woman held him. That woman made him feel like no one else has ever made him feel.
These niggas will say anything to you delulu ass bitches. And you'll just believe it. You'll just eat it up. Oh, that shit kills me. Like, of course he'd say that shit. He's trying to get in your pants now. You're dealing with chasers and you don't even know it. Next level undercover chasers. Your delusional ass just keeps falling for it. I don't know. It's sad in a way, but I don't know how to feel about it because it's sad that you can't find relationships, but like I don't know what you expect. You have a grave misunderstanding of male and female behavior. Clearly.
Physically and emotionally. And the girls who get paid for that, congratulations and kudos to you, because too many of us have been out here doing it for free.
Yeah,
but I wish that people would just recognize that elephant in the room, which is that these men would never be with us openly unless they're super disconnected to their family. I've seen guys who don't have any family, right? They just are loners. They will literally be like, you're my queen, I ride and die for you, and I will show you off and be with you. Or the ones that are super healed, that have done the work, that have been in therapy and that have committed to it and are not just like, making it up, that have really worked on themselves and make themselves aware of the fact that like there's humanity in women who are trans, and that's beautiful. And they can see past all of the BS that
the cock and balls. They can see past the shaft into the urethra. Like, what are you talking about? What do you say? Past the what? It's not like a puzzle they gotta figure out. It's obvious. Once you get past the cock and balls, I'm actually a cool lady. Oh, I bet.
people spew and all of the myths that people spew about trans women. It is just so strange to me that we can't just see that. Like, that we can't see that these men don't gain social currency from being with trans women. And if they did, I think we would live in a different world. What do you think?
I think you're delusional. Next a video. Next a video, please. I have some of these saved because these are endlessly interesting. Psychology has always been a particular favorite of mine. And this is the reason why. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Huh? What? Alright, next a video, please.
A little crazy.
You guys get a little preview whenever I load these up.
It's a little crazy that we're living through an era where my 5 o'clock shadow is always visible.
One, this person is also very interesting. They have enough money to get laser and a bunch of procedures and a bunch of um yeah, just a bunch of procedures to try to look as close to a woman as possible. But it's endless. It's a Sisyphusian journey when you think about it, because they see what we can't see. Because I don't see a 5 o'clock shadow, but they do. You know what I mean? It's whenever they look in the mirror, a version of their past self is almost layered over their reflection. You see more your memories than what's in front of you. You know what I mean? Because your mind works in weird ways. So I feel like that's what's going on. You see both your past self and your current self at the same time. And it's so psychologically, like, what goes through your head? Because it makes some dysphoric, it makes others not, it makes others euphoric, like honestly, I would study this stuff if I had more time. Hopefully I do in the future.
No matter what I do, she's always there. It's a little crazy that we're living through an era where my 5 o'clock shadow is always visible. No matter what I do, she's always there. A little confusing because I got a lot of electrolysis done on my upper lip.
I don't. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. But I don't. Generally, I don't see it. You know, because it's well, like, I don't know. Let me just. I'll think about it more before I say something.
Feel like it's worse. But then I don't know, because sometimes you just get used to your new look. And so the goalpost always moves, you know? But something about this just isn't sitting right with me. I have another electrolysis appointment in like 2 weeks, a week. Ugh, I don't know.
Electrolysis hurts, from what I hear. It's like plucking. It's plucking out your hair and then burning the inside with like a little hot needle or some shit, so it doesn't grow back. And you gotta do it with like every single hair follicle. So it's like literally pulling out your hair piece by piece. And I said it in the video. I said it in the comments a while ago when I first watched this video, because I casually watch this stuff on my free time because this everything else on the internet is kind of fucking boring. But I said it may be that you subconsciously don't and do recognize your old self at the same time. And that's probably the case. You know what I mean? Because how do you change your identity without like losing a part of yourself? But some people don't want to lose that, so they keep like pictures around. You know what I mean? But those pictures always remind you of your past self. So if you're trying to get away from that at the same time, it's kind of like a thing that you can't. Because you see those pictures enough time, and they'll just be in the back of your memory. So when you go to look in the mirror, it's just that old self is layered over it, and it's very interesting. Hmm. I think some of the trans like it, but most of them don't.
Oh, I have to look, but hopefully we can just like really keep attacking that bitch because my eyebrows are so dark because I got them tinted today. Okay, bye.
Okay, I've got more videos, but generally now we're just gonna search up the word. See what new ones are popping up. It sucks that you can't search like you do on you can't filter out searches like you do on the phone. They force you to use that fucking phone. These Chinamen on their shit, dude. The phone is much easier to access. No filter. No filter on browser mode. Use phone. Use your phone. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chinaman.
I didn't shoot you. You ran into those
This one's
bullets.
not funny. I'm trying to find some ones that discuss relationships. Let's look up dating.
I have a question for the dolls of TikTok. How long do you guys wait?
Hi, my name is Josetta. I'm going to be ranting
Josetta. What was your previous name? Joe?
about dating as a trans woman because I am a trans woman and I'm fucking sick and fucking tired. So listen up. Dating as a trans woman, it's very difficult. I hate it a lot. Like truly, I fucking despise it. Like I do not think there's gonna be a single person for me at all. Like I've gotten to that stage, like where I've given.
There isn't someone for everybody. That's kind of a myth. There isn't someone for everybody, even if you were, cis or whatever. Like, you have to, as a man, your goal is to work yourself up like a peacock so you can show yourself off to a general group of women. And then, as you find one, try to convey who you are to them to see if they accept it or not. And if they do, their goal is to get through all the shit that you're probably gonna put them through. And if they do that, then you two have this bond formed through trial and trial by fire. And that's how you form a nice relationship. You know what I mean? Generally. But people don't get that, so they're left wandering, doing all this other shit that's needless and counterproductive.
Up. Like genuinely, I can't do it. I can't. I've had a lot of weird experiences on dating apps. I've had a lot of weird messages pop up into my like inbox. That's such an old people word. No offense to old people, but like you know what I mean. Like I've gotten a lot of weird messages and have been like a lot of weird situations. So first thing we're gonna discuss is the categories of which these situations will fall into. Category 1. Okay, this category is the obvious people don't want me because I'm trans or stuff like that, which is fine. I don't really give a fuck. But if you're like being transphobic and weird about it, like fuck you, genuinely. Like I don't care. So I've had a lot of situations where I'd match with somebody and then they'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so gorgeous, you're so beautiful," blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Thank you." And so we get talking and it'll be great and they'll be like, "By the way, I just thought I'd let you know before anything like a date happens, if you're interested, I'm trans."
You should
So
tell
I
them
hope that's
before you
not an
start
issue. And
flirting.
obviously it'll go through the whole blocking immediately or unmatching immediately, or they'll be even worse and they'll send me slurs and hate speech in my fucking messages. Like, it's weird. And I'm like, bro, if you don't want to date me because I'm trans, that's fine. Just get out of my fucking way and leave me alone. Second category is people who want me, okay? And there's two subsections of this category. Subsection 1 is normal. It's like people who do want me and they're like, "Oh, I don't care that you're trans," and they're like normal about it, which I've had great experiences and I've met a lot of great people, made a lot of great friends through these dating apps through this. Like it'll be people that are awesome and cool and they'll respect me and my boundaries, but I don't really feel compatible with them, you know what I mean? Which is fine. Not everyone's compatible with each other and that's okay. So, subsection 2 is the people who want me a little too much. You know what I mean? For those who don't
Chasers?
know, us trans people have to face people called chasers. And if you
No.
don't know what a chaser
Chasers are
is
so
someone
funny.
who personally
We're gonna do a stream on chasers eventually. And stuff like that. But like for now it's for now we're focusing on relationships.
will seek out other trans people because of a weird fetish. they may have, or like they're just like sexualize us to the max. Like it's just genuinely so weird. Like they see us as objects basically. They don't treat us like actual,
They're
you know,
being
people.
honest. Is
In
what
these
they're
situations,
being.
I wasn't treated like an actual girl. I was treated like a special girl, something they could like check off on their bucket list or something. And I'm like,
No.
bro, like you're so weird. You are genuinely so weird. It's the ones that know too much about trans culture too, specifically, because like, dude, why do you know so much as a cis person? This is so weird. It's either you're secretly trans or you just are weird. Like, leave trans people alone. I'm sick and tired. Please! Those are the categories. So,
I love
yeah.
that video. Nice reference.
But I just wanted to say I'm fucking sick and tired of it because I've had too many weird experiences. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't even want to open dating apps anymore because now I'm getting recommended only like cisgendered straight men, and I'm sick and tired of it. I feel like at the most, like my best bet is another queer person who's like bi or pan. So, yeah. I wish things could be just normal and I could just
Yeah,
find
just
love the
date each
normal
other.
way, but clearly I cannot. So, yeah, that's a
Damn, why do you use your mic rubbing up against? What is that?
rant. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Ooh. I said what I need to say.
This is going to be a video about guys on Hinge reacting to me telling them that I'm trans. So let's just get right into the video. So the first guy goes, who was very much my type. He goes, hey, you're pretty, where you from? And I said, just joking. I go, hi, I'm from Transylvania. How about you? I'm just like, let's cut it short. Let's just get straight to the point. And then he goes, wait, what? And then I said, I'm trans with the little like blushy, hiding my face emoji. And then he goes, oh my bad. I don't do that. You know, you have a preference, so that's okay. Whatever. Moving forward. We're moving on. And I text him, I just said, oh, I just put okay, smiley face. And he just liked the message. And that was it. Now this next guy right here, this guy right here, is what we like to call the aggressive chaser. So I go, oh yeah, by the way, I'm trans. And then he goes, why the F is it not mentioned? LOL. And I said, that's why I'm telling you now, OMG. And then he goes, thank you for letting me know. No, now, just expected it to be mentioned on gender. I was like, it's a long story why it isn't there. And then he goes, got snap. So let's dissect this one.
Cut to the chase.
The reason why I don't have trans in my dating bio is because when I do put trans in like Tinder or Hinge or something,
Drink it raw, no chaser.
I get banned for life. So Tinder and Hinge needs to fix that because it's giving transphobia. And so I usually tell guys like either the second or third message, like before we even get deep into details. And a lot of the times, these guys that I go on dates with, I do find them on like Tammy sometimes, but a lot of the times it's from Hinge. So it's like if I put on my profile, I'm not gonna be able to find the guys that are into me because right when I put trans on my profile, it's gonna get spammed and blocked. So we're not doing that. But I usually tell them like right away once we start DMing. And he goes, got snap. So the reason why he goes got snap because he was trying to get some flicks of what's down there. And that is what we call chaser. They're very aggressive. Some of the aggressive DL chasers, very aggressive and then very submissive behind closed doors. So we left that one blocked, gone. Now this next guy is just a horn dog. Those are the guys that was in anything that's handed to them. So basically I go, by the way, I'm trans. And then he go, oh yeah, it's a good job. Because I was asking him about his job and he was telling me he's like, he works in like movies and stuff like that. And then he goes, oh word, you ever any And then he goes on to describing my lips. I had to just cross that out because it was getting very, very much nasty. And then he backs it up by saying, I have never been with a trans girl before, but I'm curious. baby, you've been with the whole block. You've been with the trans girls, the femboys. You've been with it all. And this next guy, he was so sexy. Papi chulo. But he literally was like giving like chaser bottom, fetish size queen. Size queen. After we got into conversation. So basically he goes, it's all good, I understand love. And then I go, by the way, I'm trans. And he goes, oh, for real? Question mark. And I go, yeah. And he goes, you don't even look like you're for real. And I was like, oh, thank you. Does that change how you see me? That's usually something I like to follow up with when guys are like kind of perceiving it well. Let me hide my little rose. I've been gaining weight, but we try to wait to pop out and show the stomach. So let me hide that. And then he goes, nah, of course not. But I usually, when guys are like receiving like my coming out, no, I'm kidding, but like me telling them that I'm trans, I usually follow up with like, oh, does that change anything? Or like, does it change the way you see me?
Oh, does it change the way you
see me the same?
No, babe.
And then,
babe, you're still the same girl I fell in love with.
And he goes, nah, of course not. Oh, did that change how you see me? He goes, not, of course not. I was like, okay, perfect. So how's your weekend? And then he goes, it's good, just got done hooping, for real, I'm tired, LOL. And it kind of made something purr when I heard he was like hooping and hanging out with the boys and just doing men activities and just being outside and not being in his soft man era until I found out that he was in his soft man era. In fact, he was the one bending. He was the one doing the bending. Oh yeah, and he had a baby mama, and they were together for 4 years, and they just broke up like a month ago. And this guy right here was one of the reasons why my friends told me like I need to like just like lower my standards a little bit. And I was like, bitch, I don't lower my standards. But he was like, okay, we obviously matched. And I was like, you know, let me like get out of my box, get out of my comfort zone. So I like matched with him just because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. But then I realized he wasn't my type. But when I told him that, I was trying to receive it very well. So let's get into it. So he goes, hello, to circle back to this. You're pretty and I like to take you out on a date. And this is like his third message texting me, and I was like, you know, I feel bad, like I matched him for a reason, like obviously I should probably give him attention, like, or at least unmatch him. So I was like, you know what, let me just like see where it goes. So I was like,
I feel like most of trans dating is just about the experience of being in chat. The experience of being in a chat and what that's like to how far you can get in a chat. That's pretty much it. Sussing them out for chasers. Are they chasers or not? And then, like, I can't imagine these quote unquote straight guys are actually straight. Even if you do chop off your cock, it's so crazy. Lamau.
hi, so sorry, I'm trans. Hi, so I'm sorry. Hi, I'm trans. Sorry for lagging. I don't know why the fuck I worded it like that, because what the fuck. And then he goes, oh, and then I go, I feel like I should have let you know so you don't waste your time. Because I was like, this is one of those like situations where I'm like, I'm just going to tell the guy that I'm trans just so like he can just move forward with his life and stop DMing me. And then he goes, oh, rock on. I still wouldn't mind getting to know you a little better. And we just exchanged Instagrams and started DMing each other and stuff like that. But we kept it friendly, and now we're just like mutes. We're just mutuals. And he actually did say like he questioned his gender before, and like if he wanted to be non-binary, but then he was like he doesn't know. So I was like, oh wow. So yeah, let me know if you ever want anything. That's what I told him. I said, if you ever need help, just let me know. There was honestly a lot more that I could have posted, but I was like, let me keep it a little bit PG, because a lot of these men were getting very disgusting. And right when I told them I was trans, the Prince Charming effect left and they turned into the deepest, darkest ex secrets. And it was like, that is not what I'm trying to give. And a lot of them were just fetishizing.
Yeah, duh, duh. Even it with even with real women, men do that. But real women have the capacity of just being chill over time, of just taking shit. Being a cool bitch goes a long way. And if you have a cool chick in your life and she's been there long enough, that's really all chick has to do is grow on you. And she's been cool and cool for long enough, then you're like, damn, I gotta get this chick some stuff, dude. I feel bad. You start feeling bad for not giving her shit because she's such a cool chill. That's it. But the whole time before that, we're just trying to bang. We're just trying to fuck. At least most of the time. So it's definitely the case that like 99% of trans interactions that they have with guys is just sexual, you know? That's what it is.
And yeah. But I'm saying all this just to say, be safe out there, y'all. Go on your dates, and I know it's like you when to tell them that you're trans, like that's the big question. And I usually tell them like second, third message, just so like I know what I'm getting into and they know what they're getting into. And I don't post like trans in my bio, like I said, because I tend to get spammed with like reports from people, and it stops me from finding guys that will actually take me out on a date once I tell them that I'm trans. But it's also be safe. Don't go on dates at night. And it's hard to even say that because there's stuff happening in broad daylight. But just like be protected, let your friends and family know where you're going, and just make sure like you're not meeting with anyone that's crazy. And I know that's hard to like decipher, but just really use your best knowledge and your instinct, and just don't be going on dates with guys just because they ask you. Go on dates with guys because it's meaningful to you and you're not wasting your time, and they're
No
treating you
shit.
how you want to be treated. So let's end it at that. Also, if y'all want more videos like that, like me reading guys' reactions, let me know because I do have a ton. So let me know. This is going to be a video about guys on Hinge reacting to me telling them that I'm trans. So
Okay, next
let's
video.
just get right into the video.
So mask, like I had a hat on, like like I ain't going out like this and that third. So we walking back to the car. It's like this man pushing a cart of roses through the thing. He done went and bought me a bunch of roses. Now he put them in my hand, and I'm walking through the fucking Walmart parking lot with a bouquet of roses. I'm like, oh my god, like I gotta tell him to see, like I can't. So now I'm saying to myself, like Lucille, end this now. Well, not end it, but tell him what's going on now, because it's just like he's just too perfect. Like he's too perfect, and what you're doing is not right. I'm telling myself that it's not right. Like tell him now. Like the horseback ride little date was cool. The Six Flags was fun. This all like little stuff, but it's like now it's like like those toxic situations where you meet a nigga the first night and then y'all be together every day since. Like it was like that type vibe. It was just like this is getting out of hand.
Sounds sexual.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just wind up telling him to see. So after that, we went to the Target. He brought the controller. And then we went back to my house. He played the game for a little bit, and he wound up leaving this and the third. Boom. So I was like, I'm telling him to see tomorrow. So the next morning, he texts me, like, good morning, what you doing? I'm like, nothing, just laying in the bed, just getting up. What you up to? Then he sends me a picture of him at a track meet with his nephews. Because he was telling me already, technically, he was like real family oriented and stuff like that. So he was there to send me the picture of him in the track meet with the nephews. He's like, I'm on uncle duties today. So now he's like, he on uncle duties. Like, he in a picture with the nephews. I'm like, oh my gosh, this man is fucking perfect. I'm just really gagging, like, you family oriented. You're a gentleman. You not broke. You just like, what? It's just like, what's wrong with you? I just kept trying to think, like, what was wrong with him? I didn't see a flaw in him at all. Boom. So I'm like, now I got something to tell you. I was like, so basically, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I remember his response. So I basically wound up telling him something along the lines of, I feel like, I really do like you, and I said that you really like me, but I feel like I'm letting this get too far because I feel like I'm not being upfront you know, whatever he said. He's like, what you talking about? So I basically was like, you know, this is what I am. So he waited a little while before he replied, and he was like, you for real? And I'm like, yeah, it's not that I wasn't trying to trick you enough like that, but I didn't expect to start liking you this much. I didn't expect our conversation to go outside of the club. Like, I didn't expect me to be on my first time on a horse and all this, like, I didn't expect all this stuff. So, for me, it's like, I feel like I'm letting it get too far because I know the type of person I am and how I get when I start liking people, like, I'm like, oh, I just gotta let you, like, just tell you that damn. So, he waited, took another little second before he replied. And he was like, I appreciate your honesty. I'm gonna call you when I leave the track meet. When I leave the track meet, I'm gonna pull up to your house, and then we could just talk in person. So I'm like,
it's a long ass story.
Okay, that's cool. I guess okay, bet. Now I wasn't scared because, like I said, I wasn't scared because he wasn't giving me the vibes of he gonna try to do something to me. Like, that's not who he was. Like, he was just like a sweet, gentle. He was just perfect, the perfect man that you would want to date. So, probably like 2 hours later, he came to my house or whatever, and then we basically just laid everything out on the table. Like, I told him about my whole life story, the stuff that I've been through when I was younger, when I transitioned, why I moved to Dallas. Like, we literally just sitting right there, just pouring our hearts out to each other, like just talking about everything or whatever the case may be. And in the end, of course, he was just like, I really respect you. I appreciate you, like, not, like, letting it go too far, whatever the case may have you. But I'm not into that. Like, I can't go down that. That's not, he basically just wasn't into it. Like, he wasn't upset the fact that I sucked it a little bit. He wasn't the fact that the money that he spent, the horseback dates, like, he was not upset about none of that because he just kept saying, like, you dope as fuck, or you're a lit ass person. Like, he just kept saying, like, I'm just, like, so shocked. He was just like, because this whole time
Yeah. You didn't tell him before all that? Yeah, I'd be shocked too. I'm a little blind with like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he's going through it right now. That's crazy.
asking myself too. He was telling me, like, this whole time I'm asking myself, like, damn, what's wrong with this girl? Like, she, like, perfect. Like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, and I was never thinking, that or whatever the case may have you. So I'm like, I understand. Like I said, I wasn't trying to lead you on, but I told him, like I told you on the beginning of this video, like, I don't like to disclose my tea right up front. I like people to get to know me as a person. So even if it comes to a point where you don't want to go down that path, it's like we'll still be good friends. Like, I'm okay with just being a nigga friend. Like I say, I get niggas, so I'm never tripping over a man not being interested. It's not that serious to me. So he basically he's not interested in it there. So he asked me, was I hungry? I'm like, yeah. I just got up. I didn't really eat yet. I see the come on, let's go get something to eat. We went and got something to eat. This is all after I told him to tell you. We went and got something to eat. And then he asked me did I have my season pass on me because we went to Six Flags. So I was like, yeah, I think I was in my purse. He's like, you want to go to Six Flags? I'm like, yeah. So after we went and got something to eat, we went back to my house so I could get my season pass or whatever. And then we wound up going to Six Flags. And we had a time. Like I said, it was like nothing ever happened. But that was like the last day we kind of like really talked. Cause I was turned off that he was turned off. So, like I said, he told me that he was not interested in that with me. So it was like, okay. But I'm also not about to keep texting you and FaceTiming you knowing that I still do kind of like you, and I didn't want to make the situation kind of like uncomfortable, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I was like conflicted on if I should still like be friends and still reach out and stuff like that, but I was just like, and I feel like he felt the same way because he didn't really reach out to me like kind of like after that. So we kind of just like, left it at that. It was like no bad blood and stuff like that. It was just like, we just like just two living two completely different lives. Then my Instagram wound up getting deleted in 2021. Instagram wound up getting deleted. Y'all, I come across this page the other day. He is engaged with a Doug. Man, him and this hoe got a family. They done started a family. She ain't got no kids yet, but they got the Doug. So it's like, oh my gosh, like that was supposed to be me and my Doug. Like, it just made me so sad. Like, dating as a trans woman is so, I'm not gonna say it's hard because like I said, I'm attractive, so I get like kind of like a leeway in a sense, but it's really hard finding the ideal guy that you like. And I feel like And a few times in my lifetime, I have found them. But like I said, the tea always got in the way. The trans shit always get in the way. Like, oh my gosh. But, y'all, gentlemen are out there. They do exist. You might got to go through a few, but they out there. And I'll be back next time. So I'm like, he know he putting his big smile on my face because he see me cheesing, so it's putting a smile on his face that he know he's making me happy, and I could tell that he knew that I was not used to stuff like that. So I'm like, no, please put it back. He was like, what? No, I'm gonna get you to blend this and that. I'm like, no, like please, like.
Next, it's been heavy on my mind. Like, what value could I offer in a relationship?
Okay, so I thought like this for a very, very, very long time. My first relationship was at 23. He was 22. And there were a lot of things that were kind of prevailed to me through the relationship. But one really, really big lesson that I learned, I started to realize that
right?
he
They
loved
will
me
literally
for
go
the
out.
things
It's
that
a
I
little
hated about
crazy
myself the most. And even though they weren't his favorite attributes of mine, he still cared for and loved me regardless of those things, and vice versa. And I feel for the girl who made.
Y'all don't want girlfriends. Y'all don't want hookup partners. Y'all don't want relationships. Y'all want mommies. You guys want a mom. You want an older sister. You want a nanny. You want an aunt. You do not want a girlfriend. Because why the hell are you trying to get me to cuddle you and hold your head and run my fingers through your hair on our first meeting? Now, silly me for doing that. But I'm like, I'm not doing that no more. And it's like, y'all just want to, I get it. Everybody wants to be held, but I don't know you. And we're not dating and we're not together and you're a piece of... So, no, I'm not doing that. But like, I'm convinced that's all men want now. They want mommies. Like, what Summer Walker said was so real. I want to start with your mama. She should have whooped your ass. Because what is going on? Why are you looking to me as a mother figure? I ain't got no kids. Y'all don't want girlfriends. Y'all don't want hookup partners. Y'all don't want relationships. Y'all want mommies. You guys want a mom. You want an older sister. You want a nanny. You want an aunt. You do not want a girlfriend. Because why the hell are you trying to get me to cuddle you and hold your head and run my fingers through your hair on our first meeting? Now, silly me for doing that. But I'm like...
Next.
This is potentially a controversial opinion, and nobody asked for my advice. But I have a feeling, I have a thought that trans people should not date anybody, especially not cis people, for the first year of their transition. Like, in my experience, having to include someone else's emotions, include someone else's opinions, even have that person there as a sounding board, especially if that person is cis, not the best idea. I have found, and I've also heard of other people's experiences, whereby their cis partners are, you know, fake supportive of their transition or half supportive of their transition. And you don't need anybody on your team that's like half in, half out, half stepping. You know, you need full bodied love. You need encouragement, acceptance, words of affirmation. And you shouldn't ever, ever cis people to affirm you, to affirm your identity. And then you just include the fact that you're in a relationship with this person. It's even more sticky. It's even more complicated. You know, I'm not going to air anybody out, but when I had top surgery, the person I was with was definitely only trying to get me to believe that they were down for the cause, that they were down for the ride. But I didn't need that in my life. I was trying to sort out who I am.
Yeah, that's real.
I don't understand why people will take...
I think I said most of what I need to said. These other streams are gonna start up. Yada yada. Anywho. No, that's it. I'll start up another stream when I have more to say. I don't want to just drag it on for no reason. Let me put on the music and the stream will cut out. in around 3 minutes. So enjoy the music. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you next time. One sec, let me load this up here. Oh, cool. Ciao.